So Cam Newton decides to give Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders advice for NFL locker rooms. He says the two pairing with each other in the NFL is a bad move.
I think if Deion goes over and beyond to go get his son, it's going to be bad before it's good in that locker room.
Glad to be standing here with y'all. Your daddy inspired me too. I know. He inspired me.
I've been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Niggas bless up on my
So everybody's favorite quarterback had something to say about everybody else's favorite quarterback. So we're talking about Cam, not Cameron. This is what he had to say about Deion Sanders and Shedeur in the NFL.
I think if Deion goes over and beyond to go get his son, it's going to be bad before it's good in that locker room.
Right? If Deion was coaching and Shedeur was playing with him and Shedeur was losing them games, could you see Deion benching Shedeur?
Man, bro, but those are the big boy questions that's why I have. Some people say, and my girl she told me this. She was like, babe, you a little too hard on Shedeur. And it's not that I'm hard on Shedeur, because I really fuck with Shedeur. I really fuck with Coach Prime. But more specific for Shedeur, I know what this game gonna do, bro. I see everything that he does, I see it from afar.
Now, I'm gonna be fair with this video. There will be some criticisms, there will be some praise. Let's start it off with a little bit criticism for Cam Newton to jump off the back and just go off like that as far as giving his opinion to make it look like this is the narrative is kind of unfair. What do I mean? We don't know if Deion Sanders is doing all the theatrics to go out his way to make sure Shedeur goes to the NFL. And if Deion is planning to stop a certain NFL team from drafting Shedeur Sanders, this is not like we haven't seen this before. You know, the Eli Manning family.
The Chargers let it be known they called Eli Manning's agent Tom Condon last week to open negotiations with his client, and the response was, in essence, no.
I will confirm what the Chargers said last night. I will admit I was a little surprised that they went public with that.
Will you be happy if the Chargers end up picking him on Saturday?
No. As far as reasons why, I'm not going to go there.
Now, Eli Manning and Arch Manning, I should say, they were everywhere vividly speaking against the Chargers openly and basically going against the grain of what you would expect of a top NFL pick. You know, the pressures they put on Shedeur and Deion. Could you imagine if this was Deion and Shedeur?
Eli, all these reports say if the Chargers pick you, then you're prepared to sit out the season. Can you just discuss that?
We've made all our comments. My dad is, he's going over this. He's said everything that we've talked about, and everything's been said, and now it's kind of over with, and I just gotta sit and wait and see what happens.
I mean, Deion already said if a team is not formidable enough for his sons, he is not going to let them play for them. And look at the backlash that Deion Sanders got, and he didn't even go to the draft yet. Shedeur didn't even get drafted yet, and all you seen were people actually acting like an explosion happened. But look what happens when Eli Manning says he doesn't want to play for the Chargers.
You want to play for the Chargers?
We're not really giving details right now. We just we've made our decision, and that's what we're sticking to.
Who's influenced you the most?
It's not really an influence. This was my decision. It was, I wanted to do this. I was not, told to do this. We talked about it, and I thought it was the best idea, so I went with it.
The Chargers call your name when I talk to you after the pick. Will you be wearing a Chargers hat?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Good luck, guys. Thanks.
Now, the entire media and world seems to forget about this. They loved what Eli did. So many media pundits talked about. I think I was a freshman in high school, or I was still in middle school when this happened, and I've seen everybody joviating about how great decision it was. Wouldn't you do the same thing for your son? Unless if you're the Sanders family, then people don't accept it. But the only group of people who had a moral compass was the Chargers people. Look what they did to Eli during the Chargers draft party.
With the first choice in the 2004 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Eli Manning, quarterback, Mississippi.
You see now, he's getting booed all over the country.
Well, that's what's happened with this scenario here, and that's why Archie hates it, because what's happened is that now Eli is a villain.
Eli Manning's position was not unprecedented.
And before we continue back to the Cam Newton topic with more receipts and videos of what he said, never forget that there have been multitudes of quarterbacks who have refused to go to certain teams, including the NBA, like a Stevie Francis, who refused to go to Vancouver at the time, Vancouver Grizzlies, and he thus was traded to Houston Rockets. But do you remember the legendary Broncos legend who was supposed to go to Indianapolis Colts? You know, John Elway, who refused to sign with the Colts after being top drafted.
21 years earlier, John Elway was drafted first overall by the Colts and threatened not to sign.
Now, Cam Newton goes more into this conversation. Now, to be fair, he's a great dude, and I believe he does think for the best of these melanated players. I've never seen him be a court jester besides the stupid hat, but let's talk about it. My criticism only was the exaggerated narrative that if Deion Sanders goes over and beyond to get his son, is going to be a bad, be bad before it gets good. And I think it's unfair by Cam Newton to say this, but I will respect the fact that he's coming from a place of a former player who was in that locker room, who also was a leader that other players can come to. So I'm pretty sure other players have brought up accusations of former teammates and dads, but I looked in the charts. I don't remember any coach for the Carolina Panthers who actually coached and was the son and father situation relationship with one of his teammates. So basically, in a nutshell, what was the purpose of Cam Newton exaggerating and acting like Coach Prime was already this problem when nothing been initiated yet? It seems that it was more of pieces to get views. So now the great Cam Newton, Auburn great, National College Football Hall of Famer, he's going to exaggerate a little bit more and say, so I'm trying to tell Sheduer not to drink the Kool-Aid. And I'm sitting back like, when did Sheduer ever did drink this magical Kool-Aid that makes you forget to be humble? He might do all this, but we know it's a brand he's building. But I'm going to let Cam Newton furthermore tell you guys this.
I see it from afar. And I'm like, bro, do not get caught into the Kool-Aid. Do not drink the syrup because they coming for you, bro. Yeah. And I'm the realist. I'm that friend that's gonna say, my nigga, hey, bro, tighten up. They coming. That doubt is coming. I want you to be the first quarterback pick. They coming. But this is what they gonna say. And I'm not afraid to say it and stand by it and really hype you up to say, bro, they coming. Jaden Daniels is setting the mark high for rookie quarterbacks. They coming. CJ Stroud set the mark high for young quarterbacks. They coming.
So he goes in this theatrics of they're coming, and I know the doubt is going to seek in. No offense to Cam Newton. You're a great dude. But you really think there aren't other professional football players giving great advice to Sheduer? You don't think Tom Brady mode is not giving proper tutelage to his protege Sheduer? Like, knock it off, bro. We know you're a good dude and all that. Me and you are around similar ages. So for you to big yourself up as this big brother who advice is needed, maybe some is needed as far as locker room banter talk. But for you to exaggerate like Sheduer is not on his trails of being focused and paying attention. Remember, I'm not coming at you, Cam. I'm just saying the video you made speaking about this Cowboy decision or Deion taking his son with him to the NFL, same team, it seems to be exaggerated a little bit more on your part rather than Coach Prime. Now, speaking of drinking Kool-Aid, you are used to saying outlandish things, and when people respond to you, you respond back to them and kind of play victim as if you don't know where they came from. For instance, we gave you a pass for you coming at Jason Whitlock. Simply, sometimes Jason Whitlock is just a douchebag. You know, he has good points sometimes, but in this note, if he wasn't Jason Whitlock, I would say you are in the wrong, Cam Newton. But because we know Jason Whitlock could be a deprived hater, then we loved what you said right here to Jason Whitlock about keeping that same energy.
Or is he just doing whatever is possible to survive and remain relevant now that he's never going to play football?
Here's my message to Cam. My guy. No. You're not my guy. Come on. The thing that is interesting about what he said about you, Cam really showed what a simpleton he is, Jason. You never really...
Pause right there. I'm going to tell you like this. Since y'all mentioned motherfuckers like Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement and Cam, Captain Save-A-Ho, I'm going to put both of y'all motherfuckers, Jason Whitlock and Steve Kim, in this shit. I'll put it like this, bro. If I see you, all I ask is keep that same energy. Mr. Kim, simp, cool. Keep that same energy when I see you. I think we have to normalize this in sports. Like real shit.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
At a moment. I want to say it, but they got a video. I'm not trying to fuck up the pod. They got a video out. Speaking of the basketball niggas, with D Wade.
Nope. Nope. Ew.
Teaching Zaya how to dribble.
He asked me which way I liked it. I told him I like my shit to say.
What is that? Oh shit! Oh my god!
Nope. You ain't seen my. I'm not sure. It's funny.
Oh shit!
It's funny. It's fucking hilarious. I see that.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, YouTube. What? That took me out. I'm sorry, guys.
Latarian Milton is not your typical 7-year-old. Few his age have ever driven an SUV up and down several busy streets. It all started at his mother's townhouse. Latarian says he took the car keys and hopped into his grandmother's Dodge Durango.
When I came through the back door, I looked on the counter, my keys were gone.
I took my grandma's car because I got mad at my mom, and then I suddenly had my friend come in, and he smokes with cigarettes.
He started the vehicle and put it into gear.
I yanked the thing.
And off they went. Two 7-year-olds alone on the road. Latarian drove several miles through Lake Park and Palm Beach Gardens.
We got the one call that I told you about of a driver in the vehicle who looked too short to be able to see over the steering wheel.
Along the way, he ran over 2 mailboxes, hit 2 parked cars in a Costco parking lot, and struck 2 moving cars near Walmart.
I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things, to drive into a car.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
It all ended on Investment Lane and Consumer Drive. That's where Latarian hit the curb and sideswiped the sign. The SUV took most of the beating, snapping off one of his axles and wheels. A grandmother's rage.
I want to whip his behind. That's what I want to do right now. If I thought they wouldn't take me to jail, I'd whip his behind right now.
You don't think he should be punished for all of this?
Just a little bit, no video games for a whole weekend.
And one unusual story for police.
Are you sorry? You understand that now your grandma's going to have to pay to have those cars fixed because you hit those cars.
Can my mom help her?
Hey, YouTube family, you know what to do, man. Hit that like button. Even if you don't like somebody, hitting a like button is free, man. Smash that like and support the platform. Salute. I actually liked it. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know who I am and what I say. I feel like people do got to keep that same energy. And me being somebody like Cam Newton, we're both from the hood and we're always seeing visibility in these blocks. And to which no avail you could find a Jason Whitlock or his sidekick partner, Steve Kim, whatever his name is. I do feel if you're gonna combat people with verbalage, then you should see them and keep that same energy in real life. But Cam Newton is going to emphasize on the keeping energy, and he's going to double down on it.
Come on, like, so to keep it kosher, to keep it content, I will advise Jason Whitlock and Steve Kim to keep that same energy when I see you. I think it's going to be Super Bowl.
I mean, Cam Newton speaks about even his girl admitted that Cam is way too hard on Shedeur. And I feel like Cam Newton has put himself in a father figure place where no one asked for him to be that. Shedeur is very fine with role models if his dad couldn't be up to the par of it, or if he had an alleged ineptitude of failing to be a father. We can pretty much say Bucky Jr., Deion Jr. is a great big brother and a figure that you claim to be, Cam Newton, because let's not forget, Deion Jr. was also an All-American. So there's a lot of things that feel a little uneasy about you going out your way to speak on this. Once again, Cam, I also want to give you credit as far as we can't just throw out your advice as something that's not useful, because you were in the locker room. There are plethora of things you could tell Shedeur so he can add on to his arsenal of skills and traits that he possessed as a top-notch quarterback. But other than that, you're just gossiping and spreading a false narrative that never existed. That's what you're spreading out here. And it seems kind of strange because you even go further deeper into this discussion where nothing even existed to begin with.
So, bro, I see it. I see you. And yes, to some, it's like, bro, you always hating on Shedeur. No, my nigga, I'm the nigga who been where Shedeur is, and I want to help him to let him know, like, bro, I'm not hating. This is real shit. When you go into a locker room that's coached by your father, bro, it's not going to always be welcome like that. It's not. But you still going to have to fucking ball.
Look, Cam, you're a great dude. But just because it's not always going to be like that, it doesn't mean that's going to be Shedeur's story. And just because it does exist in the locker room, we know that you make your own future, your own destiny. I've seen many situations and instances where parents are the coach of a football team of the high school or a Little League Pop Warner team, and the other players' parents don't like it, including those teammates of that star kid, or the guy might not even be a good player because their father is in a prominent position. It propels them to get more playing time, or probably most likely a starter's position. Cam, I got news for you. There were a couple of, if not half of the team, who felt some type of way with the limelight that both Travis Hunter and Shedeur and Shiloh, I should have said three, but Shiloh, Travis, and Shedeur received from the media. They talked to me in my DMs. I'm a good dude. I don't feel those things needs to be another topic for my YouTube content. We have plenty of real content to use instead of fabricating the situation or over exaggerate one like the one you're doing. Nobody asks your thoughts deeply on this, but you have a right to speak on how you want to speak, and I have a right to critique it or speak on it as well. Deion Sanders taking this job, no offense, has nothing to do with you, sir. Him taking a job has everything to do with his lifelong goals. He shouldn't have to give up on a dream because of what happened to other people in that situation. And my thing with you, Cam, is like this, bro. Now that you've done this, it has created a narrative around to which people are flocking towards and acting as if Shedeur really was going through these drama that you merely brought up and made up. What I'm saying is, yes, there are things that happen in the locker room that people don't like. If your father goes out his way and make you a starter or whatever, that would make people a little uneasy, but that's their problem to deal with. That doesn't mean they have to stop what they're continuing to do that's obviously working. So why not try it in the NFL and see if it works that way as well? You don't think in Pop Warner football during overtime, when we seen all those videos of Shedeur, you don't think there were teammates and parents who felt some type of way? What about when he was in high school at Texas and we seen the overtime series? You don't think parents felt some type of way? Teammates felt some type of way? You don't think in Boulder, Colorado, the same thing existed, which I told you it was substantiated through my DMs? You don't think in the NFL that they're not going to be ready to handle something he's been handling all his life? Once again, Cam Newton, no offense, you got a great father. I think he's an officer as well, something to that extent. Much love to your father. I defended you during a controversy which college football tried to strip you of your success. But at the end of the day, you are not Shedeur, and Shedeur is not Cam Newton. He's a different cerebral mindset. I'm not even saying he's a better quarterback than you, but as far as a guy to have a skill set that only he can do the best of his ability, you two are not the same. The way he has been bred to react to people in this atmosphere we call football is severely different from you. You handle it your way, which sometimes didn't work the best. Shedeur handles it his way, which obviously to the naked eye, he's one of the best guys for the job. He can handle the scrutiny that comes with being the leader of a franchise. And much like a Eli Manning, although Arch Manning didn't play with his son together, wasn't a coach, but his hand in having his son Eli be with the Giants almost to no avail. There was no backlash. But for some reason now, people are going out their way to make Coach Prime look like he's going over his way to get Shedeur with him. He's not doing anything different from any loving father or other people part of the NFL fraternity has done already. Cam, I can't tell you what to do with your platform and what your voice is and how you conduct your voice out here, but I'm always going to be a voice of reason, and I'm always going to be honest. It doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong. I'm looking at the perspective, and I'm looking at it on the longevity of the game and of Shedeur, of both Deion as well, if he decides to coach in the NFL. I don't want him to leave Colorado football, but if he does decide and he takes the Las Vegas Raiders job, he takes the Dallas Cowboy jobs, it doesn't matter which one. He was built for this, sir. He's obviously the best voice and advice for Shedeur. So if he feels he wants to take his son with him on the same NFL team, I'm not going to stop believing in what Deion Sanders has accomplished for the last 3 decades. And compared to you, compared to Deion, it's not the same thing. You compared to other players, you oversee them by miles away, Cam Newton. You're a great NFL quarterback. And if Eli makes it to the Hall of Fame, you should be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, I stand on it and I'll defend you. But, sir, I'm going to say it for the last time. You are not Shedeur Sanders. You are not Deion Sanders. To over-exaggerate a situation that never existed as if Shedeur is having doubts and Deion is stepping on toes going out his way. These are things you perceived when you look at the Sanders family. Whether you're big brother, friend or not, it's what you perceive, sir. And that also makes me question, do you really believe on the things that Deion claims he's going to do that he actually done already? Much love to you, Cam Newton. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, this will always be deeper than football, bigger than football. Look, like I tell you guys on every video, love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. Please be free and sure to answer me in the comment sections and let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions. Do not be afraid to critique me as long as we're professional and we're cool. And just like Cam Newton say, I match energy. So don't feel like some type of crybaby if I match energy and you're disrespectful to me. Hey, I'm going to do like the good book says. There's a time to love and there's a time to hate. Blessings to everybody.